Hello, Ajay, Ria. The voice is not audible.
Sorry, you are not able to hear?
No, no one is able to hear actually, Ajay.
Okay, no worries. We'll just fix that.
Yes, can you just start again? Yes, thank you.
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you.
Hello, Ajay, Ria.
Yeah. Just bear with us for a couple of minutes. I think there is a small technical glitch, so we'll be just starting shortly.
Of Bahrain chapter of ICAI.
Good morning, everyone. My name is CA Ria Bansali, and I'm the Joint Secretary of the BC ICAI. Today, we're having the biggest CA orientation program for all the schools. So I'm really excited because we're going to be taking you through the CA curriculum, the presentation, a lot of information, question and answers, personality interview. So we're going to have a prominent personality from Bahrain who's going to come and join the session and help you answer a couple of questions which may be in your mind. So at the end of this, we're also going to have an exciting quiz session with a lot of prizes. So I want you to download the Kahoot app and just follow the instructions in the slide given. So you can go to www.kahoot.in on your mobile or download it from the App Store. Now you will have to enter the game pin, which will be provided by the start of the game. And just add your phone number and your full name. So please try to avoid your nickname because this is important because we have to give out the prizes at the end. Now, just abiding by the rules, please do not Google search or search online for the answers. There will be a timer, which will have 20 seconds for you to answer the questions. Extra points for speed will be given. So have fun and earn all your points and your prizes at the end. So I hope you all got the instructions right, and we're really looking forward to an amazing quiz session. Also, if you are wondering, what the session is going to have in store, if you're from a CA family, you don't have a background of being a CA or anyone being a CA in your family, I know you may have a lot of questions just like we did when we were students. So what I want you to do is grab your pen and paper, write the questions down, and when we open up the question and answer section, you can type it to us in the chat box. So we will be answering all your questions to make sure this orientation is really successful and meaningful for all of you to choose your career paths. To now begin, I want to introduce you to the face of the chapter, the leader here in Bahrain, our chairperson, CA Ajay Kumar. He's not only responsible for the event that's happening today, but also for all the activities and events that BC ICAI takes in Bahrain, for the families, for the spouses, for the members, etc. So he is the head of compliance in AXA Insurance, and I want to introduce you to him. And let's have a few words from our chairperson.
Good morning, everybody. This is the biggest orientation session that we have had by far. For that, first of all, I thank all of you and your parents for taking the time on this Friday morning. I also thank the management of the schools for having shared this information with you. I'm really enthused as our we have received for this session. Now, give notions. It is a very difficult course. Population of 135 crores in India, there are 3.2 lakh CAs, which is about 0.2%. Many of the activities required under the Indian law requires you to be a CA. So when you're part of such an elite group, the course will be difficult. But the key to this is the hard work. We have all done it, and I don't think any of us is super brilliant, but yes, we have worked very hard. But let me tell you, it is worth it. When you finish CA, you're already a notch above compared to the normal commerce graduate. It is like joining a police as a normal policeman or after completing IPS. The opportunities to grow is much higher. As Theodore Roosevelt said, believe you can, and you're halfway there. So if you believe you can achieve, you will. Number two, CAs can only be an accountant. Far from reality. A CA can be an accountant, finance manager, internal or external auditor, risk manager, compliance officer, company secretary, internal controls manager, technology consultant, and many, many more. I myself head the compliance department and a company secretary of my company. Of course, as you move ahead in management, you can also become a CEO, you become entrepreneurs, where your finance knowledge is very, very handy. The CA course prepares you for all these roles. Number three, CAs tend to be boring accountants. Again, wrong. We have many interests outside of work, and generally CAs are very lively people. We have many artists, singers, painters in our fold. In fact, CA Ria herself is a yoga teacher and a life coach. I myself am a regular player in the Bahrain Cricket League. So this is totally up to you. This has nothing to do with the CA course. Number four, how are the Indian CAs placed globally? CA is recognized as globally as a premier accounting qualification. Moreover, we are all well connected to each other globally. In Bahrain, we are all well connected with each other and are a vibrant community. We have activities, social events for family, Toastmasters Club, and many such activities. We are also working very hard to make the full range of activities of doing a CA available in Bahrain, including the examination center, coaching facilities, and so on. Unlike many of the other alumni, which is restricted to their colleges, we are all part of one central body, whichever part of India we are from. Although there are 5 regional councils of ICAI to administratively support the head office. We are commonly bound by this identity, which is CA. Of course, you will get more information about this from the upcoming presentation by CA Sharmila and CA Ria. And I hope this session will help you when you look at making your career choices. And I wish you all the very best, whichever path you may choose. Thank you and have a great session.
Thank you, CA Ajay. I'm sure all of the students are already inspired and really excited for us to take the session ahead. Now, for that, I'm calling upon CA Sharmila, who is the secretary of the chapter. And she's going to walk you through and introduce you to the ICAI body as well as the BCICAI body. With more than 20 years of experience in internal audit and being the group head, I want you to have a few words in her. I want you to hear out a couple of things from her. Handing over the charge to you, CA Sharmila.
Thank you, Sierra. Thanks for that great introduction. So before I take you over the activities which are done by BCICI in Bahrain, let's have a look at a video prepared by ICAI on its 70th anniversary. And the video is made by none other than the very famous actor whom all of us know, Mr. Boman Irani. Can we just have the video, please?
If I asked you what was common between these very illustrious names, what would you say? Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, Mr. Motilal Oswal, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, Mr. Shekhar Kapoor, Mr. Piyush Goyal, Rakesh Junjunwala. What do you think is common between these people from very diverse walks of life and professions? 2 letters, 2 simple letters, C and A. 2 letters so powerful that if you join them and put them before a name, it not only becomes a professional qualification, but it represents willpower, dedication, intelligence, and the ability to march on come what may. To the rest of the world, these 2 letters mean chartered accountant. But to me, it means something completely different. Committed achievers. Let me tell you a story about a committed achiever. A young girl was wrongly prescribed penicillin for a common cold. What happened was that she became visually impaired. A 9-year-old became blind. She decided to become a chartered accountant. Her name was Rajni Gopal. So what if she was visually impaired? The world may think of it as a handicap, but she did not. In another story, the daughter of a man who sold coffee outside Borivali railway station on a bicycle decides to learn English in the 7th standard. She fails, tries again, fails again. She goes on to become a chartered accountant. Did she ever think that language would be a barrier? She did not. Did she ever think that her financial status would be a barrier? She did not. All she wanted to do was become a chartered accountant, a committed achiever. The only place where achievement comes before commitment is in the dictionary. It was this commitment to achieve that led to the formation of this organization that would change the economic structure of this country forever. ICAI, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The leaders of this nation were visionaries. They knew the role chartered accountants would play in developing the country, which is why on the 1st of July 1949, a year even before the Constitution of India was formalized, an Act of Parliament gave birth to ICAI. Today, ICAI counts itself amongst the oldest professional institutions in the country. Born as a regulator of accounting profession to aid the economic growth of the nation, it is the second largest professional accounting and finance body in the world in terms of members, with a current roster of about 2.5 lakh members and counting as I speak, with a presence of about 71,000 female chartered accountants and 3.5 lakh girl students. ICAI holistically carries the mission of transforming the nation from women's development to women-led development. During its eventful journey of 70 years, ICAI has become an integral part of the Indian economy, taking it on the path of the fastest growing economy in the world. With its emphasis on financial reform, ICAI radiates with shining milestones that stand as the acknowledged cornerstone of India's economic growth. In the year 1956, chartered accountants were recruited for the first time in the commercial audit branch of CA&G. Many of you may not be aware that many accountants were part of the Indian freedom struggle, like First Lady Auditor C.R. Sivabhogam, who participated in non-cooperation movement on the call of the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhiji. She was also imprisoned for a year. Recognizing ICAI's strong regulatory framework, the High Courts acknowledged Council's strict disciplinary mechanisms in 1961. In 1964, the Council of the ICAI submitted its pre-budget memorandum for the first time. The memorandum contained useful suggestions for reorientation of taxation policies and procedures to the Finance Ministry. The process was so helpful that it is being practiced ever since. In the 70s, the ICAI started rendering free advisory services to SMEs and small taxpayers on maintenance of accounts, tax paying, and other financial matters. Not only did it enhance the financial literacy of businessmen and citizens, more importantly, it started the industrial growth in the country. It also collaborated with the government to enlarge the scheme of scholarships. With all humility, I wish to mention that in the year 1972, ICAI members had provided pro bono professional services to the heirs of the Jawans and officers of the armed forces who sacrificed their lives in the war. Complete exemption from tuition and registration fee of the institute was also granted to the children of Amar Jawans and officers. The 80s saw widespread gloom in India's macroeconomic performance due to the prevailing conditions in the country. However, during the period between 1980 and 1990, the economy began to improve and growth rate accelerated. The government appointed CA members on various committees like boards of public sector undertakings and nationalized banks. The government also appointed ICAI as an expert and independent advisor on company law, fiscal, and various other committees. The corporate sector, the public sector corporations, cooperative societies, and public trusts were brought under the accounting discipline by legislation. In the 90s, sales tax audit was introduced in many states, which was a direct result of ICAI's efforts to showcase the role played by the CA community. ICAI developed a research center in the form of a non-profit company to be named as Accounting Research Foundation. It was during this time that the government recognized the ICAI as the sole recommendatory body for setting accounting standards in the country. 2000 and onwards marked the period when many MRA MOUs had been signed with many international bodies such as ICAEW, CPA Australia, Ireland, CICA, etc. ICAI was granted recognition by IGNU as a research center for the benefit of its members and employees to pursue doctoral research from IGNU. eSahayata was launched as an electronic service for members and students of ICAI to provide prompt services against their queries, complaints, and grievances. In 2007, ICAI decided to recognize the CA leaders in industries, which gave birth to a glittering awards function. In 2009, ICAI was awarded the Recognition of Excellence Award by the then President of India, Srimati Pratibha Patil. In the year 2014, the Honorable Prime Minister of India Sri Narendra Modi nominated ICAI for the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Under the banner of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Swachh Vidyalaya Abhiyan was launched in the year 2015 to provide separate toilets for boys and girls in all government schools throughout the country. ICAI undertook a pilot study for the Indian Railways. The in-depth cost analysis helped in streamlining the running of the railways. Considering the importance of the legislation, namely black money, and the imposition of Tax Act 2015, CBDT decided to go all out and conduct workshops with ICAI to clarify any doubt the assessees may have had. ICAI was chosen as the preferred institution to partner with the Government of India to create awareness and maximize the potential of the Income Declaration Scheme 2016. ICAI, jointly with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, organized events at more than 470 locations across the country. It was attended by more than 42,000 citizens, including chartered accountants, company secretaries, advocates, and members from trade and industry. ICAI's contribution to the scheme was acknowledged by Shri Arun Jaitley, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs. For the benefit of its members, ICAI established the Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICAI. ICAI extended its technical and infrastructural support towards the accounting reforms of various government offices. This meant moving from cash to accrual system of accounting after assessing the tremendous positive impact on national financial reporting. It was also an important year for the Indian economy, with GST being touted as the game changer, leading to one nation, one tax. ICAI, as always, was there to partner the government towards effective and smooth implementation of GST throughout the nation. As a result, ICAI and CA members became a proud knowledge partner for GST success. For a clearer understanding of GST, ICAI carried out more than 3,000 programs benefiting more than 2.5 lakh participants. ICAI also established GST Sahayata desks all across the country to facilitate small businessmen, traders, shopkeepers, and the public at large. ICAI has created a milestone by launching various incubation centers. In line with the Prime Minister's vision to support startups, ICAI is providing massive platforms to help CAs start their businesses. Not many people know that there is an accountancy museum in India, or that the ICAI is the first accounting body in the world to start a digital accounting and insurance board, or that there are 3 forensic labs in India to monitor financial bungling and frauds. With this, the ICAI is keeping its eyes and vision firmly on the future. The ICAI has a very strict code of ethics. Its motto is taken from the Upanishads, Yayeshu Sapteshu Jagriti, which translates as the one that is awake in those that sleep. Here's to the guardians who stayed awake and protected us while the rest of us slept. I'd like to salute this institute for the work it has done in the past 7 decades and wish them the very best in the years to come.
So this is just a small glimpse of the huge magnitude of ICAI and its activities. Now let's see what the Bahrain chapter does here in Bahrain. So ICAI has actually around 53 overseas chapters and representative offices. Out of that, BCICI is one. So BCICI is the largest organized professional body of Indians in Bahrain with around 450 members. Actually, there are around 600 members in CA in Bahrain. And BCICI is trying to enroll more and more members so they can benefit from its activities and events. BCICI is conceived in 1985 and it has held its first program in April 1986. So it's almost 35 years old. BCICI is managed. BCICI has the members who are employed in government, quasi-government, semi-governments, public and private organizations, and they hold a very high and respectable positions like CEOs, CFOs across the companies. The members are spread across the industries, the audit and the consulting organizations in Bahrain. This BCICI is managed by the executive committee. The executive committee is appointed annually. It has 9 elected members, and the 9 elected members unanimously appoint 2 nominated members who assist them in conducting the BCICI activities. The BCICI holds regular seminars and events for its members so that they can enhance their skills and also obtain the CP credits as required by ICAI. It also organizes family day events like sports activities for its members and their families. BCICI also conduct the CSR activities like tree plantations, beach cleaning activities, the orientation course like this one, and planning on doing more and more in future. The BCICI organizes the annual international conference. This is attended by the CAs from different countries. The conference helps to share the knowledge in the region and also increase the interaction between the members in different countries. BCICI also coordinates with ICAI and Embassy of India in conducting the ICAI exams in Bahrain. BCICI has been working now and is in the process of getting the required permissions to conduct the November exams in Bahrain. It is also closely working with ICAI in conducting the courses in Bahrain in near future. So these are the additional features. So CAs are eligible to appear for the civil services exam. The government of India has issued an order in 1992 that the CAs are eligible to appear for the civil services exam. The ICAI has tie-up with IMMs and certain other management institutes for carrying out the management courses. They have around 114 universities in India who has recognized the CA qualifications for pursuing the PhD degrees. The other courses like MBAs, ICWAs, CAs, which are also offered by the other professional bodies, there are around 14 certificate courses and 7 post-qualification courses which are offered by ICAI itself for their members. Now, what are the opportunities for the CAs? They can have their own practice. They can be employed in the corporate sector and be the part of the corporate world. They can be entrepreneurs, as we have seen in the previous videos as well. We have entrepreneurs like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who is the stock market guru, or the Warren Buffett of India. Motilal Oswal, who is the founder of Motilal Oswal Group. Kumar Mangalam Birla, the chairman of Aditya Birla Group. These are just few names to say. Also, you can go for the further studies like MBA, IAS, PhDs, etc. While presenting the budget, our Honorable Minister has said that there are around 4.5 million. Can I just have the previous slide, please? Yeah. Our economy is going in a $5 trillion now, and it's going to become around a $10 trillion economy. So there is going to be a dearth of 25,000 professionals in the market. So there is a huge opportunity coming up for the CAs in market. Again, there are in commerce field, you have many possible avenues you have many avenues in the commerce field as well. As I said, you can be entrepreneur, you can be a part of information technology consulting, you can do ISA, you can do CISA and do IT audits. You can be in the advisory services. Like preparing the feasibility studies, designing the budgetary controls, preparing the project reports, developing MI systems, and many more. You can be in the business, like setting up your taxware software companies, providing the coaching classes. You can be in the government. There are many CAs in the government institutions, like income tax offices, sales tax offices, and the public sector banks, the RRBs. You can also choose to be in the academics. Again, your part to the success, as it said, is built on the foundation of meteoricity. You can be in the policy framings. You can be the part of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. You can be the leaders in your field. You can be the entrepreneurs, as we said. Now comes the signature power of the CA. Once you are a CA, your signature actually carries a lot of importance. The tax audit reports, the forensic audit reports, the company audits, the foreign currency remittances. These are various assurance services which are required by the government of India to be signed by the CA. These are the areas which the audit reports needs to be signed by the chartered accountants. But as you say, with the power also comes the responsibility. Your signature carries the trust of the crores of Indians. So never let it break or never let it even have a scratch. So I can now I'll hand over the session to CA to take you through the actual course of the CA.
Thank you, CA Sharmila. Now I'm going to go for the most awaited part. We've already received so many questions relating to the curriculum, what should be done, what should not be done. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what you will actually be facing in case you decide to take this course up, the 3 levels, what is articleship, where you have to do it, etc., etc. And if there are still questions that you will have, I'm sure you will always have questions despite this, because it will open and broaden your horizon about the process for especially those people who don't have any background or CA members in the family. So please note down your questions, like I already said, and we will be taking that up as well. I'm going to try and incorporate more information as to we've already received questions, so I'm going to try and incorporate that in the presentation as well. So let's run through it, and then we'll have a look at the question and answers as well. So can we have the presentation, please? All right, so we're beginning with the course, and now I'll tell you how you can start the process of a CA. So there are 2 ways to do that. One is like the foundation scheme, and one is the direct entry scheme, as you can see. Now what happens is the stark difference between the foundation scheme is directly after your 12th standard. Once you finish from Bahrain, or once you are in India and you're doing it, after your 12th standard or +2, what they call is, you directly go into the foundation scheme, which is also the level 1. Okay, now the thing is, if you talk to CAs across before and after, the name of the scheme keeps changing. When I was doing my CA, this was called CPT. If you talk recently, it's going to be called the foundation scheme. So don't go on the name, it's the same thing. So it's counted as level 1. Okay, how you enter into the scheme, or it's called the entrance exam. So people use a lot of different words and terminologies for the same thing, which is called CPT, foundation, entrance to the CA, level 1, etc. So it's a direct exam that you write, and then you go to the level 2. Or what you do is you finish your graduation, which could be your BCom, which could be your BAF, which could be your BMM, any of the bachelors that you plan to take. I think in Delhi, it's for 4 years. In Mumbai and other cities, it's 3 years. So depending on, if you want to take time to do that, you can be taking your chances to finish your graduation, see if CA is suitable for you, talk to other people. And then after your graduation, if you score a minimum percentage of the required requisite, then you can directly enroll for level 2. So those are the 2 things. Now in CA foundation test, if you're planning to go after 12th standard, what happens is you're going for session 1 and session 2. What happens in the level 1 exam? This is specifically about the exam. You have 4 papers. As you can see, it's accounting, it's law, it's maths, it's economics. So you have to give these 4 papers. Now, again, let me tell you, one very big difference is over the course of years, the course keeps changing because ICAI is trying to make it more competitive, more at par with international standards. And, because we're such an adaptable body, we keep adapting to different styles and we see what's good for the students. And that's why the course keeps changing. So currently, when I was in my CA foundation test, we had 200 marks each paper. And you have to score a minimum of 40% to pass each exam. And overall, you need to get 50% to clear and go to the next level. Currently, what's happening is you give 4 papers, 4 different papers, like how you give your maths, English, etc., on 4 different days. And you have to score those minimum marks and go ahead with it. Of course, this will not apply if you go into the direct entry scheme and if you finish your graduation beforehand, so you can avoid this 4 examinations. And yeah, that's what I explained in the direct entry scheme. You go for graduation or your post-graduation, and then you directly come to the intermediate course, which is called IPCC also, which is called inter, or let me just make it a general term because you might get confused with these terminologies. It's the level 2. So in this also you get these are the minimum marks that you need if you're going for after graduation. 55% if you score in your graduation, you can come into level 2. Others with not a commerce stream, you need 60% to, it's just a validation for CA authorities to know that, okay, you've done well and you can directly come to level 2. And yes, so we are going to the second step now, which is the intermediate exam level 2. Now, again, in this as exams, we have group 1 and group 2. They're nothing, basically it's just 4 subjects combined into one group and 4 other subjects combined into the second group. Of course, what the content is right now is not relevant for you, but you should just know that you have an option of separating and giving one group at a time. So you know how in 12th standard, you have to give your 6 papers together. In CA exam, in the intermediate exam, you have an option just to give group 1 or group 2, or if you're really confident, you can give both the groups together and give 8 papers together. Otherwise, you can even give 4 at a time. So this is about the CA inter exam. There is no exemption to this. All your exemptions are related to only your first level. Everyone coming after graduation or post-graduation or direct entry, you'll all end up in this stage at least. So please, even if you decide to come after graduation, please make sure here is where you will land. So group 1 and group 2, you can give any groups first. You can even go with group 2. You can even go with group 1. But what is the importance of group 1? Let me tell you, if you clear your group 1, only then can you actually start your internship or articleship. The term related to the CA course is articleship, but as you may not be able to understand what articleship is, I'll just make it general and put it as internship for all of you. So you also have to give like 3 years of work experience before you appear for the next level. So to go into the next level, which is not an exam, it's actually to start working, you have to clear your group 1. So you can clear your group 2, that's not an issue, but you have to wait to clear your group 1 to start your work. So the best part about the CA, and also the most fun part, which a lot of people will not highlight to you, and I can tell it only as a student to you, is after your level 2 or your level 3, you have these CA orientation programs, and you have these activities that you have to go for 1 month for your IT training and 7 days courses, and you get a real hand experience of what grooming is like. They tell you what is expected of you in office. They tell you, they make you play games to understand how your communication can be better, just to put you at par with MBAs. Because if you have spoken to CAs before, they would always tell you, MBAs always do well when it comes to presentation and when it comes to like talking, and we are good with technicals, but we stay behind because our non-technicals is not good. And that's where they take the mark and they take the jobs and they take the higher packages and all of that. So this is a constant effort that CA Institute has put up. So we do these orientation programs, which are 7 days, and they're done with really reputed bodies actually. So you meet like a lot of people. It's a good networking session. I still remember my orientation days. They were so much fun, and we wanted to clear the exam only so that we could go for the orientation and we could go for the IT training. And you get to learn so many skills that you actually will be using in office or in your real life for that matter. So yeah, so those are the things that people will not tell you. And of course, the rigorous part is the articleship or the internship that I said, but it's also the most fun because that's where you meet most of your friends. And it's almost like living a second college life. So yeah, we are going forward. And the best part is in the 3 years of internship that you do, you also get a stipend or an internship amount, or so you can earn while you learn. Isn't that great? It may vary from like 4,000 to 5,000 depending on the firm and the city that you're in, up to 8,000 to 10,000. But you know, it's an amazing experience because you're learning, and nobody pays you to learn. So I think this is an amazing opportunity. 3.5 years, you're under a highly influential people. You get to learn so much, and they pay you as well for that. So ICAI has also set up a lot of virtual classes, e-learning, cloud campus facilities. As you can see on the screen, a lot of initiatives have been taken. This is not only during this Corona time where we are going to have these meetings virtually, but also this is done way before, so that to facilitate people, because India is so huge, a lot of people from towns or small villages can't come up. So as long as you have your phone in hand, they are facilitating learning at such a cheap cost. It's highly commendable. And the same can be availed by you actually sitting in Bahrain, depending on the courses, their availability and things like that. And the last milestone, which, you know, we kind of forget between the fun that you're having in articleship and the orientation programs, is this CA final. Again, CA final also has 2 groups, again, divided between 4 and 4 papers. Now, what happens is in this, even if you clear group 1 or group 2 first or before, it really doesn't matter. You have to clear all the 8 papers in any order that you want, but to get that CA title that you want. So you can take up those papers, but let me tell you, in any group that you decide to take, you have to give all the 4 papers together. That's a compulsion. You can choose whichever group you want. This applies both to IPCC as well as CA final, but you have, within that group, there are 4 papers. You have to give all of the 4 papers together. Now, in CA final, in group 2, what has happened is, like, of course, this is a recent development. 1 paper has become optional. So it's called paper 6, which was computers, or ISCA. And now the ICAI, because of adapting and understanding that, you know, we need to be more dynamic and need to give our students more options, it's become an open book exam. So within that 6th paper, you get to choose which subject you want to study. And I think that's brilliant, because in that articleship period, in the internship that you do, you realize what you like, what you don't like, and you know what you want to excel in. So you can choose your paper accordingly. Just that 1 paper, which is, I think, brilliant, because it's an open book exam, and we don't have it in the CA or CBSE or any other curriculum. This open book examination. Never. Even I never had that. So I think that I feel really jealous of students who are going to enroll now. And yeah, so this is the advantage of entering CA and getting an option of a paper which none of your pioneers would have had. So yeah, and that's when, if you finish these 8 papers again, and voila, you will be here sitting with us, maybe giving presentation someday, becoming a chartered accountant. Now, the best part is the fee structure and of the CA course. As you can see, the foundation courses, these are all in USD terms. So for an international student, if you're applying, the registration fees is USD 720, examination fees is 325, and so on for intermediate and final. You can all maybe like take a screen capture, but this is also available on the net. But what I really want you to hear me out on this is, if you compare, like for a resident Indian, if you go and you apply as an Indian in the CA Institute, the fees is so minimum, it's so cheap, and you recover all of that amount during your articleship. I have not seen any course where you put in that amount of investment or the donation, what they call, and earn all of that and probably more if you're hardworking before you finish your degree itself. And the best part is there is no quota system. No matter how much donation you want to pay to the institute to become a CA, that's not going to work like doctors or engineers, because there is only one body. There is no ICAI Delhi and ICAI Mumbai separate handling you and handling your papers differently. You cannot be doing that. So that's the best part. Anyone, I think especially as us NRIs, when we go, we'll fight a lot. You will realize that there's a lot of quota systems still in India. When you're going for colleges, there's scheduled caste quota, there's a scheduled tribe quota. And because we're in the general category, of course, there's an NRI quota as well, but that comes with a lot of price. So I think this is one of the very affordable courses. And that's why you'll see the returns are so high. Not only seeing the money aspect of it, but also the respect aspect of it and how the society really accepts you. And you don't have to explain. The best part is if you say you're CA Riya Bansali or CA Sharmila or CA Ajay, it's said that we know what you've done, we know how you've done it, and we know how much efforts you've put in. So it's like two letters elaborating, is saying the entire story. So I think there can be nothing better than that at such an affordable cost, especially if you are someone or your family friends are someone who are paying for the course themselves. Of course, in India, this is not a big concept, but I know a lot of people in the villages have to pay for their education themselves. So this degree becomes really prestigious in terms of the course, the amount of fees and the returns that you get. And just saying that I hope this has kind of opened up something within you. I hope you're ready to take this course up, because there are so many prospects that you actually get being a CA. As you've already heard CA Sharmila saying, you can go into so many avenues. You've heard CA Ajay saying, we're not boring people. We're not restricted to one thing. We can do several things besides that. I'm sure your questions are going to come in. With more questions, you're going to get more clarity with talking to people online or getting in touch with us. There's, of course, so much in depth that, of course, you will not understand right now. And let me also tell you, the CA course that you entered in probably today will somewhat adapt itself and change. So what happens is you don't have to be nervous about it, because you have to see this, that institute is trying to improvise and improvising constantly. So if you enroll into the foundation, you might realize there are changes by the end of your 4-5 years journey. There's a change in the CA final. So you don't hold it against that. We in presentation, we were taught 8 papers. Why are there no 8 papers? And why are there 10 papers now? So just take it as a kind of adaptation that's happening. I'm sure even next year, by the time you enroll, maybe there might be online exams or something like that, which we've not covered. So this is not an extensive list. We've covered our journey and our experience till, so how many professionals have experienced it so far. But of course, there are going to be changes. So you have to keep getting yourself updated time to time. And ICAI website, Delhi, when you log in, is the best place that you can get. So if you go www.icai.org is where you get all your updated information without having to hold anything against us or anyone who's said, Nahi, we were told this, you have to conduct the examinations this way. So with this, we come to an end with the presentation, and thanking you for listening. And hopefully this has brought in like a lot of insights to you. This is not only the end of the presentation, this is also a very exciting part which is coming up. Is even Sharmila is excited about it, because now we're going to show, as Sharmila had included in her presentation, all the prominent personalities in India. Right now, we're going to interview a prominent personality in Bahrain. And he is, with more than 20 years of experience, he is the CEO of Trafco Group. Now, if you've not heard about Trafco, maybe your parents might have, but if you've seen the rainbow milks, if you're a consumer of non-vegetarian products, the Sadia, chicken, so these are all the products which are brought in by this company. It's a very, very big company, and we are inviting the CEO himself today. He is a chartered accountant himself with more than 20 years of experience, as I already mentioned. The best part is why we are so excited to introduce you to him is he's a living example and a living legend, I think, right, Sharmila?
Yeah.
Because he has proved how successful a CA's journey can be. He is tremendous, and he was also on the front cover of the Gulf Who's Who on 2020-21 magazine, and right on the front cover. So he is a personality that you all should know. If you have any questions, maybe you can write to him. We can ask him how you can reach out to him probably, or you can throw the questions to us and we get back the answers from him. So
Ajay has said that CAs are boring people.
yeah.
Sridhar is one other example. He's a very good artist. So,
And a writer as well.
And a writer as well.
Yes.
No?
So that's what he's a living example of how successful you can be in a CA. Like she said, writer, painter, he sketches so well, and a true artist. So we wanted to get in a couple of questions and kind of introduce you all to him to see, what you could be probably 20, 25 years down the line. Him as an inspiration, of course. So we would like to welcome CA Sridhar.
Good morning. Thank you, Sharmila and CA Sharmila and CA Ria for the lavish introduction. And special thanks to Ria for marketing our company Trafco with our products and other things. You mentioned about our products, etc. Thank you very much. Yes, I am delighted to be here to see all the aspiring and future CAs of Indian school. Yes, I would like to, answer any of your questions.
That's great. Welcome, sir. Really glad to have you here. And, a lot of people would not be knowing, but we know each other personally as well. And to all the students who are listening, it's a true fact that CA Sridhar has a very important role even to play in my career, let alone the number of people. So thank you again. And I would really like to ask you on behalf of the students, because I framed the questions thinking that, what a student would want to know and how we can use your experience. So thank you once again. And we can start with the questions if you're ready.
Can you ask those people, somebody's audio is not muted and I can hear a lot of conversations. Is it okay? I think now it's okay. Fine.
Yeah, can we ask everybody to mute themselves, please?
Yeah, it's okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with question one. I would say, I know, you're in such an influential position, sir. So I'm sure you're getting a lot of people who come up to you, maybe in your friends, maybe in your family, maybe other people who just probably get socially connected to you and probably ask you for a career advice. So how do you advise them to either, number one, take up CA as a course, and why would you advise them? And if they're already in the process, how would you encourage them to complete the course?
See, Ria, just now you explained to them that CA is a very tough course and it's very difficult to pass. Pass percentage is very low. Yet people.
Are you there?
Sorry. So yet we are seeing a lot of chartered accountants passing out every year successfully, and we see the number of CAs growing in all the industries. Now, CA, this position in an organization is considered to be a special position, I would say, because take an example. Ours is a listed company. We are listed in Bahrain Stock Exchange. Now, we need to have a CFO or group finance controller to run the finance department. Now, since we are listed, we are governed by the rules and regulations of Central Bank of Bahrain and Bahrain Bourse, which is stock exchange where we are listed. Okay, our shares are listed. We are a public shareholding company owned by not an individual or a family, owned by the general public. Now, since it is a listed company governed by all the regulations of this government departments, we need skilled, qualified, skilled professional chartered accountants for our finance department. Because what happened, we have to present our financials every 3 months to the shareholders. We have to publish our financials. And in order to have more transparency, we have to present, give a press release to the shareholders on how the sales went up, why the profit went up, and all those things. Now, these things cannot be reported by a non-professional. Only a chartered accountant who has got some analytical skills can present this kind of information. And another thing is that the accounts are to be prepared, in line with the international accounting standards or IFRS. You call IFRS, you can tell the students it is international report, financial reporting standards kind of thing. So the accounts are to be prepared, complying with all the requirements of the standards and the regulations. Now, these things can be done only by skilled chartered accountants. In TRAFCO, for our group, we have 5 chartered accountants, and you can always proudly say that you are one of them. Okay, these 5 chartered accountants, they support the top management in getting the reports ready for publishing to the shareholders or presenting to the board members. Now, a chartered accountant has got a special position, as I mentioned earlier, that he compared to all the other managers, chartered accountant is the only person who will attend the board meeting to present the financials, because the stakeholders, especially the owners or the chairman or managing director of the company, would like to know what is the bottom line. Okay, even though they know what is the sales, what the turnover and all those things, what are the expenditure, what is the bottom line, how are we compared to last year or year before last year, all these things can be done only by a chartered accountant. That is the reason chartered accountants have access to the top level management. This is an added advantage. Plus, as you mentioned, it's certainly a lucrative job. The pay scales are certainly better compared to other. Of course, I don't undermine the capabilities of other professionals. They are equally good. Okay, of course, everybody has got their own special role for the industry, but certainly chartered accountants play a major role in successfully running the organization. So I hope that answers my.
Yes, definitely. We got like an overview, not only from the management point of view, but also like what they're looking and this kind of skill set also that CA has. So while hiring, sir, do you see any unique sort of skill set with the CAs that you actually come across? Because I'm sure you're in such a influential position. You do hire people. So what are couple, maybe 2-3 unique skill set that you choose a CA for?
Yeah, see, a chartered accountant, of course, he basically is an accountant, but he is certainly different from a graduate accountant. BCom or MCom, who has got even 10-15 years of experience, can only do the bookkeeping. He can only prepare the accounts. Whereas chartered accountant has got an additional role. Apart from preparing the accounts, he has got the ability to present the financials. He should have some analytical skills to present the financials to the management. Like you make a P&L, okay, fine. Anybody can make a P&L. Any BCom or anybody who has got experience in finance department for 10-15 years, they can present the financials. But if you are asking a chartered accountant to do the presentation, how we have done compared to last year, make some graph and all those things, or there is some kind of issues or some financial irregularity or anomaly kind of transaction, something happened in the inventory or cash, certainly a chartered accountant, because during the articles, the chartered accountants undergo vigorous training. They go to all the industries. It could be bank, it could be manufacturing company, it could be travel, it could be trading, any kind of industry. So in these 3 years, they learn all the skills, the audit techniques, forensic accounting, or something related to fraud, for all those things they learn. So this experience helps them when they are employed in the industry to, perform very well. So even if there is any issues or reconciliation difference or some intercompany reconciliation or reconciliation between holding and subsidiary companies, certainly a chartered accountant has got capability to, present it, resolve it, or reconcile the accounts and solve it. So this is how a chartered accountant stands different from a normal accountant.
I hope really this question not only answers what for those who are only considering graduation, but also it gives them a push to take this professional degree up.
Another point
So
I would
I
like
would
to add,
as a student, I face this, and I'm sure like with a couple of questions that came into me, this was one of the very common questions, which kind of scares students, I think. And also people become very hesitant after listening to this, because of course our pass percentage is less. So a lot of fear in the society says that, oh, the pass percentage is so low, a lot of exams are difficult, so don't do this, probably go for something safer, or the chances of you becoming a CA are less, which is probably true, but like, don't pursue this degree because of that reason. So what advice would you want to give our students today, who are probably hearing this constantly and will hear this more when they're going to an Indian environment where constantly everyone's concerned about their future and fearful that they might fail because of the exam being difficult?
See, this question has been, hovering around for many years from our CA days, that CA exams are tough, CA is very difficult to pass. Once you become CA, you become like a sannyasi. There are a lot of jokes, that skeleton is sitting with the book saying that this fellow is still doing CA. All these things are going on. Jokes apart, what I would say is, of course, it's very difficult to crack the CA examination, but what they expect is, why the pass percentage is low? Because they can easily make, out of 100, 30 can pass, 40 can pass. Actually, they want to keep the standard at certain level compared to other courses. Why today in India, why today Indian CAs are employed all over the world? If you go to Australia, you just give 1 or 2 papers of Australian CA, you become Australian CA. You go to Chartered Accountant in England and Wales, you appear for 1 paper of their local CA, you become member of their course. This is not happening vice versa. Like I have not seen any, not many Australians and guys from England are coming to India to do the papers. It's very difficult for them to pass the examination because
that's true.
I hope our students are listening this.
Yes.
So there is nothing to be scared of for CA.
Yes, and coming from such a prominent personality, I really want to emphasize on this point, because I got questions yesterday also related to the same. So please hear out what sir is saying, and it's really important. So do you have something more to add to?
Yeah. So here, what I would like to add, for those who have, fear, or those who are scared to, pursue the course further, or who are stuck with one group, or they are not able to pass, my advice is, do not give up. Do not give up. Just continue, pursue your studies. Because, for example, why a student in final examination fails? He has covered all the subjects, all the sums he would have practiced, all the textbooks, study material, revisionary paper, everything he would have done. There are certain things which you have to be very careful in the examination. This is what my seniors used to tell me. The most important thing is the time management. Okay, you may be super intelligent. Okay, you may be knowing all answers. But in CA, what you notice is the question appears very simple. Oh, this has come in the 2009, 2008, this has come. All those things will be running in your mind when you see the question paper. But when you read the question paper, always you will find somewhere there is a small twist, or there is some small kind of
yes,
this thing they keep in order to get diverted, and when you answer, certainly you are pulled down. Actually, what they're saying is, the moment you receive this is for those students who are appearing for the examination. What they're saying is, don't panic. The moment you get the question paper, spend at least 10 minutes to read the question paper thoroughly. Some people advise, don't read the full answer question paper, because if you find one question to be tough, you are totally demoralized. You will not do it. It is not like that. The idea of asking the students to go through the paper for 10 minutes is just to know how the paper looks, how the questions are, and your advice to choose the easiest one first. Because those days, we used to have 6 questions for 3 hours you have to answer, right? So on an average, each and every question you have to take 30 minutes. What they are saying is, never take the first compulsory question, because compulsory question is carrying more marks, but there only the bombshell is always there, because after spending 1.5 hours of compulsory question, you strike the paper, you do, then you erase it, and you go to other part of the answer. Finally, you are lost, and you are left with only 1.5 hours. In 1.5 hours, you have to answer remaining 5 questions. Why all these things? What they are saying is, choose the easiest question first, answer it. Okay. We used to choose the theory
I think
question.
our students are already getting the tips on giving the exams.
We're assuming all of them are going to do CA.
So we used to be advised to take the theory questions first, because theory question is very important. This is basically for you to know that you just to test whether you have understood the subject. For that only they are asking you to answer theory questions. So theory questions, what happens? Straight away you get 70%. If you write 100% correct, you will get 70% of the mark. If it is 15 marks are allotted, certainly you will get 10, 11. Okay, first 2, 3 easy questions appear, 15, 15, 15, say 40 plus theory question 50. Within 1.5 hours, you are sure that you are already crossed 50% of the marks. That gives some kind of moral boost or strength for you to take the toughest questions and get, because getting 40 is easy in CA, but getting 40 to 50 is very, very difficult. So my advice is, you would certainly need some intelligence, perseverance, hard work, dedication. Throw yourself to that task and go deep into the subject, plunge deep into the subject, and spend, we used to spend 14 to 15 hours a day for studying our examination. So you certainly you need a dedication, because the recognition is, once you pass the course, the recognition is humongous. The fame, the position, the salary, fat salary that you get, everything is unimaginable, uncomparable. So better to work hard for 3-4 years, leave aside everything, leave your passion also. Some people say, oh, I'm interested in swimming, drawing. Keep some time in a day for, say half an hour, 1 hour for your passion, but focus only on your studies for at least 12 hours. Certainly students can pass. I have seen very rarely, students who have given up the course and left, because not because it is the papers are tough or something like that, because they are not fully focused, or they lose interest, or of course there are some genuine reasons, financial commitments at home and all those things which make them look for some other course. But general advice is work hard and do the course. Because I would like to say something about my kids also. You have any question about my sons, or you want me to answer that?
Yes, of course. Like the personal experience will really help all the students.
I will tell you. I have 2 sons. The elder one, both the sons were studying in Asian school up to 8th standard, and then they joined Indian school. The moment they joined Indian school, they were so happy, because the extracurricular activities, drama, music, sports, everything was very good. They were enjoying till 10th standard. When my elder son came to 10th standard, my wife asked him, okay, you want to do science or commerce? Because he has to choose the subject. He said, no, science very difficult. This chemistry and all, I cannot remember the formula. I will go for CA. So we said, okay, you go for CA. He was the school topper in commerce stream, and he was the first recipient of our CA chapter's Commerce Excellence Award given by the ambassador during CA Alok's time. So he was the first recipient of this award actually.
He was my senior as well. So I know Prashant personally, and I would say, yes, he's excelled and he's working in a great bank right now. So we've had similar struggles in terms of that, but he's doing extremely well, and he's a perfect example of why you should finish your CA course, right, sir?
Exactly. So my second son also, when he came to 10th standard, he asked me a question, what do I do? My wife is an engineer. She's teaching in the university. She was trying to persuade him. She's trying to cajole him to do CA. But my second son asked, what do I do? What should I do for IIT? She said, you have to work hard to pass the JEE examination. He asked how many students appear. We generally gave a number like so many lakhs appear and so many thousands go for the admission. He said, no, that ratio is quite tough for me. Better I will do my CE. So he cleared his intermediate in first shot. Now he is pursuing his final examination. He wants to combine CA with IT, data mining, and all those things. So he is also interested in that. Why I'm saying is that my children were, you see, we used to study 14, 15 hours. They were not spending 14, 15 hours. They were spending maximum 9, 10 hours. They were watching TV. They were going to the gym. They had all their passion, other activities continuing while doing their CA. But of course, they were focused. They were working hard in those 9, 8 hours. And as I said, answering the paper, using some analytical skills, using the right strategy in answering the questions. These were the keys to success for them. And let's hope other students follow this. And certainly it is not difficult course to, crack.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main highlight and a great conclusion, because I'm sure like this is holding a lot of students back, and listening from you and your experiences and a live example, I'm sure they get a live testimony as to what is the other side of it from actually the students, which they may not have an access to, talking to people who are actually undergoing the course. So thank you really for your time.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
really sorry for the students because we cannot take direct questions, but in case we do have any direct questions, we will direct it to sir and probably get an answer depending on his time availability. And thank you so much, sir, for coming and really encouraging and showing a different path to these students who probably may not have had such a clear picture about the curriculum, about the path of a CA, etc.
I'm sure that the students will be really benefited from what CA Sridhar has said today. So it has been really motivating,
right?
And really, I hope it will motivate for more CAs here now.
I would like to add only one point before I sign off.
Yes, sir.
When my sons went to India for pursuing this year course, from Bahrain, I took five more students. They didn't know anything about Chennai. They didn't know Tamil. They're all from Kerala, but all of them were going to Chennai for the first time because my son was going. I took all the 4 of them with my son, put them in the hostel, spent some 15 days to buy all the requirements for them. They all joined the classes together. They all studied together. They all passed together, and they are all employed very well, actually, in some good positions.
So this is a live example right in front of all the students. Please take this as an inspiration, as a motivation that, it can be finished, and don't just listen to people who are fearful in the society. I'm sure their fears are justified to a certain extent, but you decide your path yourself. So you make your decision and then you stick to it. Thank you so much again, sir, for joining this session and imparting so much knowledge and insight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we have another prominent personality amongst us, and he is the regional director for Middle East and Africa for the ICAI, CA Pravdeep Singh. Now, he is our go-to person for all the students. Any trouble we have, BCICI goes to this one man who is an actual friend of the BCICI. So we would like to have a few words with sir. If you would like to take over and just share whatever experiences and knowledge that you have.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ria. My warm welcome to all the students, and I acknowledge the presence of Chairman of Bahrain Chapter CAJ, past Chairperson CA Uday, and our very beloved CA Sridhar, who just shared his wisdom with us in a very lucid manner, which I could see that some of the students whose cameras were on, I could see that they were very encouraged listening to him. So I'm based out of Gulf for the past 13 years, and I have a very special relationship with Bahrain chapter since over a decade when I started traveling to Bahrain for attending conferences. In this role as regional director, it has been only 4 years, but I have been traveling to Bahrain for other reasons as a chartered accountant since 2009. And to witness the members there and also to meet some students over the past years has been wonderful. I've visited some schools also. And I see that the Bahrain chapter has been putting a wonderful effort in educating the students by regular sessions, which happened in the school. Many sessions happened in the schools last year, and I'm very glad to see around more than 200 students participating in this online session. So when it comes to chartered accountancy, everything what should have been said has been said by our leaders, but I would say the 2 things what matters most in a chartered accountancy is performing in your examination, which happens with the preparation. If your preparation has been good, you will definitely succeed. We had an example by CA Sridhar that maybe some students in the past have been studying for 15 hours, but now we see that students spend 8 hours a day, and they can pass. So it all depends upon an individual that how he wants to go ahead with an preparation and examination. And saying also that 15 hours we need to study every day does not mean that this has to be spent over 4 or 5 years when you are doing your chartered accountancy. Because 3 years of your time you will be learning in your practical training. And when you are learning in your practical training and preparing for your final examination, it is about 2 or 3 hours every day you are putting to your studies. And then before the examination, you will get a leave to prepare for your finals examination, and passing out in the CA at one go while you are undergoing internship is very, very important. If we say that the results are very low, it will not be because that students do not pass while they are studying. It may be because that when I'm studying, I may not be able to clear. Then I go for an employment. When I go for an employment, then there will be very little time I may not get a break, because when I'm in a full-time employment, the organization will not have that many resources to give you a long leave, which you may get in internship. That makes extremely difficult for those students to pass. So therefore, when you have to study, you should study. And when you have to work, you should work. So it is very important that your focus, your attention, your determination for the time which is required is very important, where you do not divert yourself to the other things which are unnecessary. So therefore, focus your time at that point of time. And the second thing, we have very often compared the chartered accountancy with other courses which are much more easier. What I would like to say is that while we pass out from the 12th examination, it is important that 4 years time, or if you are taking 5 years time, you give to your studies wholeheartedly. If you will be looking at a shorter route where you can pass your examinations in 2 or 3 years with a course which is much easier to do, that may not be very helpful for you to set a strong base. While we go into the employment, there are many chartered accountants who will go for many other courses because they continuously keep on studying. But large part of the population, large part of the people, when they have done one course, they are happy with it, and then they would like to perform in their employment and achieve a success in that. So therefore, taking a shorter route at a time when you have time to study may not be very helpful for you. It may be harmful for you in a long-term career. It has been told that we have been working very hard to change the course and making it adaptive and accommodative with the changes which have been happening. That is very necessary. That has been happening because there are many new technologies which are coming. So we have to see that how much we should teach while you are studying, or how much you should know while you have passed out. Now the focus on the new emerging technologies has been for the members, like after a student's pass out, but these things slowly are coming into the course and has to come, because Steve Sridhar also said that about data mining, the new technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, coding, and also are coming. And also it was told that C.S. Sridhar said that his younger son wants to do with the data mining. So it's not like that when you go for chartered accountancy, you keep aside the technology part. Technology is also a very key and important part of your studies, which will be part of it. Now we tell our students who are in 5th or 6th standard to start learning coding. So you can also look into that aspect. And I'm sure that if you are committed, you will succeed. And also it has been told about MRAs, like there are so many countries, England, Canada, Australia, where you wish to move. So once you complete your chartered accountancy, it's very easy to gain a membership in that country. And we have our successful members all across the world who have been making a broad impact in the entire world. So therefore, we are available for you in anything you wish to know. And what I would like to say is that you should be committed towards your studies. And if you are taking a commerce, there is nothing except the chartered accountancy from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You being an Indian student, you should be encouraged, you should be doing this course. And I'm sure that if you have a passion towards what you wish to achieve in your life, you will succeed without thinking much about whether you will pass or not. Another point which was raised and discussed is with regard to the communication part. Now, when it comes to students who were in the earlier generation, like let's say my generation, there were many less facilities available. And students who were in India were maybe more talking in their native language. But when it comes to students who are outside India, the communication part does not matter much for them, because we are studying in an environment where you get to learn all these things while you are in your schools. In the Gulf part, Toastmasters is a very popular organization in Bahrain. It started somewhere in 1964. And I see that there are many students also who are part of a Toastmasters as Gavaliers. So when I see them performing, they are really exceptional. So, and you have much more facilities available. A student who may be just in the second or third standard, he may be very well versed with computers. But we started learning computers in our school in sixth with a very limited access to it. But you have access, the facilities are there of ICAI. It was told that there are virtual classes, cloud campus. So everything is available for students. And it will be seen that there are more and more facilities in person available for students in Bahrain. So with this, I congratulate the committee of Bahrain chapter and all the members. And whatever queries are there, we are available. And I wish and I want to congratulate for a very successful program and for the further part of it. And would like to make a mention of one student, Aruna, who I saw that for the entire program also she was very attentive. I congratulate her for that. I do not know in which standard she is, but let us hope that she and all other students who are here become rank holders in the time to come in the chartered accountancy, and we celebrate their success in the entire world. Thank you so much, and over to you.
Sir, sitting in Dubai, I'm sure you're able to take out time for us. Otherwise, for such an event, it would be very difficult to fly. Thank you so much. I'm sure the students are really attentively listening to everything that you've covered, because there are so many points that you covered, and we got questions relating to the same. So now we will be opening up the question and answer session. And sir, I would request you to just stay here, in case, because you're associated to the Board of Studies directly, you would be able to answer the questions more in depth in case I miss out answering a couple of questions. So maybe we'll just take a couple of questions for the next 10 minutes, because I have a lot of students eagerly waiting for the quiz as well, because we have exciting prizes for that. So let's take up the question and answer and see how we can broaden your horizon and clear your concepts.
Okay, I'll probably read out some of those questions that have come so far. I think the first question, maybe Prabdipji, I think this is an ICAI question.
Hear you. See, Ajay, can you put it on the screen, or maybe speak a little louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Ajay, we can listen to you. Yeah.
Okay. The first question is, what is the difference between a CA and ACCA?
Fine. Yeah. I can answer that question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So if you see, every country has a national accounting body. And Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is a national accounting body of India. And Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales is a national accounting body of England. When it comes to ACCA, ACCA is also a board, is an institution which started from England and some other European countries, and it has spread out all over the world. For normally, now when you have to practice in England, both CA and ACCA have gotten recognition, ACCA and ICAW, but ACCA is not an accounting body of any country. It's a body which is spread out in the entire world, and it is giving a chartered accountancy education. There are many countries in the world, in Middle East and Africa, or in some Asian countries, where we do not have a national accounting body. As ACCA has been aggressively spreading its wings, so there are many countries where the members of ACCA are present all over the world. But for mostly, predominantly for the accounting bodies of a particular country, the members of that country are the main members, and it's not spread out. Like we have 350,000 members right now currently. ACCA has also 400,000 members, but they will be spread out all over the world from different nationalities. ACCA, it's much easier to do. I didn't took a name of ACCA earlier, but that's a course which is much easier to do, which you can do without doing internship. But I would like to tell you that once you pass your ACCA, then you go for an employment. But our course, ICAI and ICAW, is exactly similar. In Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, you do your internship with your studies, and here you do internship with us. So that's the major difference between us. But I would like to say that if you have to study, you have to study very hard. Don't go for something which is very easy in the time when you should spend more time, and the success will be yours. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, to add to that, it's like, yes, as Mr. Pravdeep Singh said, like ACCA is much more simpler. But if you're planning to be a chartered accountant in India, so as I said in my presentation while as well, that all the audit reports which are accepted by the government has to be signed by the chartered accountants. The ACCA signing is not that recognized, though it's ACCA is recognized all over the world. But if you want to be practicing in India, the CA degree holds much more value and much more importance compared to the ACCA degree.
Yes. I would also like to add something that, this may right now seem a very small difference that, okay, you work before the degree, you work after the degree. It seems like a very small thing right now because you're working 3 years here, 3 years there, more pay here, more pay, less pay here. It may seem like a very small thing right now, but you will realize the importance of it only, I think, once you start working or you hear from more professionals, which I really advise you should go out and not only restrict yourself to like 4 or 5 of us who are advising you here right now, because once you have your work experience along with your degree, or you can even ask your parents who are working or not even working, they'll tell you more than the degree, your work experience matters. So once you come on the table with the interviewer, having the degree and the work experience, it makes much more of a difference than just having the degree and then starting to work despite you being called a professional. So just think over this point. And of course, globally, you have to decide for yourself what you want to take up, because you cannot come and blame us after a couple of years that, you told us this and that. So yeah,
There's
definitely one of the
Ria.
Which may seem very small to you, but I really want you to research on this.
Yeah, Ria, I would like to, there's one question I see in the chat. What I meant was that the ACCA is present in many countries which are underdeveloped countries, but it doesn't mean that, okay, one course is recognized more or less, because that's a question asked. It's like predominantly you will see ACCA members in the countries which are developing and does not have an accounting body. But when it comes to recognition, there is, our course is a benchmark with the UK agency, which is NARIC, and our recognition is there in the entire world because we have 40,000 members outside India, and they are in the top position from America to Australia to Middle East. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So can you just elaborate a little bit? I'm extending the question to you.
Yeah.
The acceptability of a CA qualification for employment purposes in the Middle East. So if you can just elaborate or on any
Yeah.
RIC recognition and things like that, I think students would
Yeah,
get a
so
broader horizon.
if you see, Indian chartered accountants are the largest number of accounting professionals in the Middle East for over 40 years, whether it's Bahrain or Qatar or UAE or Kuwait or Oman. Now, if our accountants control, I may say that maybe 70 or 80% of the finance industry in most of these countries, which tells about that there is a recognition of the chartered accountancy and acceptability in the Middle East. When in the Middle East, you have to go for an employment, you will be asked at a basic qualification, a basic prerequisite will be whether you are a chartered accountant or a ACCA or a CPA. So that is a similarity, but that is just a basic prerequisite. When you are going for an employment, it all matters that how your skills are. If you have not spent time in the studying and you are going for an employment just after 2 years without any practical training, so it will not help a student in a significant way, because I have not done anything. I have just studied few papers and I have passed out. In ACCA, if I completed my graduation, and all my 9 papers are exempted and I just have to give 4 or 5 papers. We are talking about a world where we need technical and non-technical skills in a very strong manner. So if I have not spent a time on these aspects while learning, then how I can perform in my employment? So that's the most important thing. So acceptability, as I told you, there are a large number of companies whose CEOs, Bahrain you have seen, but there are almost 50 large companies in UAE whose CEOs are Indian chartered accountants. And it's recognized there may be some issues somewhere, one way or the other, maybe sometime may come to get some equalization or anything. But when it comes to an employment, there are no issues. And if there is any issue, we are there to resolve and work upon that.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for elaborating. Can we have the next question, Siaje?
There are many questions coming in, but I'll just try to bunch them up together so that it's for ease convenience. I think a lot of questions around the possibility of doing the CA course in Bahrain, whether you can do CA intermediate, final, foundation in Bahrain, and whether there are coaching classes and so on. Even the exam center, I think it's all bunched up into one. So maybe I can start off with that question, and maybe Pradipji can join as we go. Because at the moment, I think the examination center used to be there in Bahrain, which got cancelled in the past because we did not have enough students. But recently, based on all the communications that we have received from the children, there are quite a number of requests that have come through, and based on that, between us, BCICI, and Pradip Singh ji in Dubai, and the ICAI, and of course our MOU partner in Bahrain, which is Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance, BIBF. So we've been trying very hard to get the examination center approved for the November exam. So we are just fingers crossed. Hopefully that should come through sooner than later. And once that comes through, obviously we will inform through the media, news media and other things that this thing is approved. Which hopefully, the exam date, last date for the November exam is 31st of August. So we still have some time to go, but not much. So that is on the examination center. On the coaching facilities, again, we are in the process of working with the local institute. But again, see, this is not something that ICAI does. It is something that the local institutions will take up on their own. And because we have a BIBF MOU here, Memorandum of Understanding with the BIBF. So we might be trying to work with them. And as at the BCICI level, which is the chapter here, we are also looking at doing some free orientation sessions as well. So hopefully we should be in a position to announce that also soon. So we have obviously quite a lot of senior people in Bahrain who are well versed with the topics and other things. So foundation, we do have a plan to start some coaching classes for the children, and obviously that will be without cost is what we are planning. So we're not professionals obviously, but then we will give it a best shot. I think we will try to support as much as we can sitting here. And then the next question was on the articleship. So there are some CAs in Bahrain who do have approval to take in articles. So like they mentioned during the course, I think there is a time period before you reach the articleship stage. So if we are in Bahrain, and we do have some people who are able to provide you articleship in Bahrain. So it is part of a bit of our roadmap at the moment to enlarge this whole scope. All of these things are possible in Bahrain at the moment, but we really want to make it much bigger. So this is what we're working on.
Yeah, Ajay, one thing I want to highlight about articleship, there has been very less students of articleship in Bahrain earlier, because I understand that we earlier had issues with regard to getting a visa if we are not a graduate. But I would like to highlight here that as we have benchmarked our education with NARIC, we will be working to see that intermediate is benchmarked to graduation. So it should help you to get the visa, and that should get resolved. There are many firms, around 15 or 20 firms I know of Indian chartered accountants, where the seats can be made available. But the reason for less number of articles earlier has been the students planning to go to India, and maybe some visa issues which will not happen in the future.
Right. So I also want to ask you, like in the presentation also we had mentioned like the online virtual classes that ICAI has been doing, and they've been doing free of charge.
Yes.
So could you like elaborate a little more on that, or
Yeah.
just tell how they can probably avail those services?
Yeah, so if you see, if you go to the cloud campus, there are many things available, from the study material to the presentations available there, and video recordings available there. Now, considering that 3 or 4 months, students have not been able to avail in-person classes at our 166 branches across India. So therefore, virtual classes have been made available, which are also broadcasted live on YouTube. So, and furthermore, we have established a digital learning hub for more than a year, where the focus is to make more and more content available for students and members there. So all these facilities are available because the sole motive of ICAI is to see that students are getting facilities at a minimum cost. There are many students in India who go for a coaching institutes who charge fee to them. But what we would like to tell the students and assure that we do not want that students should spend so much of money in preparation. So that's why we are trying to do more and more to see that at a minimum cost, more is available to them. Yeah.
So, Prabdip, one question relating to the recognition of the CA. I think somebody has a question that it is not recognized as a bachelor's or a master's degree. So they're saying this is posing a problem if you want to pursue an MBA or CPA in outside countries.
Yeah, so with the recognition, as you know, as I earlier touched upon, see, recognition is something like getting an equalization in a country. But see, what happens is that we are not a degree course, we are a professional course. So that's why, most of the countries understand professional course to be different and degree course to be different. The reason why we went in October 2019 to NARIC equalize benchmarking is that because we wanted that every government should recognize our intermediate as bachelor's and finals as master's degree. So we are in the process of doing a small process in different countries where it becomes easy to get an equalization from a local country, so that when it comes to employment or to do another course, there are no hurdles in achieving that. So, so that more than 50% of the work has been done from it. So now we are trying to identifying the countries where we have issues, and we are reaching out to the local authorities to see and resolve it. Yeah, so that's it from me, Ajay.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Ajay, can we have a next question, please?
So I think there were quite a few questions relating to the impact of the new education policy on the CA course. Is there something that you can look at the moment?
The education policy is just a new policy. Like we are already, as has been told, that we are very focused on making the changes as it is required to be done. There are a couple of groups which are regularly full-time work on it. So whatever changes may have to be done with regard to the education policy, that we will be bringing in. And the another thing, but I would like to say that education policies with regard to India, but when we come to international level, there are education standards, and we meet all those education standards. We have benchmarked our qualification with regard to it. So education policy in India, I would say, is one small aspect. We are sitting in a foreign land, and I would like to reiterate and assure the all students that we have benchmarked our qualification to the international levels. There is a body of the accountants, ICAI, and we closely work with ICAI and its sub-bodies to see that we are not left behind. And furthermore, to tell the students, we will be hosting the Olympiad of the ICAI, which happens once in 4 years in 2022 in Mumbai. We will be the host for it for the first time, where where more than 6,000 professionals participate from all over the world. We will be deliberating upon the changes which are coming in the future. And we all know that with the technological changes, the changes are happening very fast. So 2022, and right now we are in the challenge of a COVID. So there will be much more to see. So you will see that India will be on the world map in 2022, where all what has to be done with regard to the education, we will be the focal point, and we assure that what has to be done is being done and will be done in the future. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. There is one question, now the colleges in India, they are offering BCom courses, plus they are offering BCom with specialization in accounting and finance. So what is the difference between the two, and which is more beneficial if we want to do a CA course?
Right. I will take that question. See, I would like to say that we had informed about the two options available for foundation and direct entry. But I would say that, when you are doing a graduation can be done simultaneously. For us as a student, now the world is very fast, and we all want the things to happen very quickly. So doing a graduation simultaneously makes more sense. But just for the sake of doing a graduation, normally we do graduation because in most of the countries we are employed based on our professional qualification and not on a degree qualification. So therefore, it does not matter much in most of the countries. But if you give you an example of UAE, like in UAE, we have issues with some members who have to take a license for audit, because in that you need a two qualification. One is a professional qualification and one is a bachelor in accounting. So if you are doing just a BCom, which does not have an additional specialization of an accounting and finance, you may be left behind in that. So considering the UAE example, if you have an option available and you are doing a graduation, you should go for a bachelor's of commerce in accounting and finance, because that is the core subjects which are there in the chartered accountancy. The role of a chartered accountant is not just limited to accounting, it's much more than it. But as it's in our name, so a specialized course like accounting and finance will maybe better if we want to focus on that. But for most part of the world, for 80 or 90% part of the world, it does not matter which you are doing. Maybe in some countries it matters.
For the foundation course, I think the most of the part which is there in the foundation course gets covered in the BCom, which is specializing in accounting and finance. So I guess having that will make the foundation much more easier.
No, foundation course normally gets covered in 12. Like, foundation is anyways done before BCom. If we are doing a BCom and we have achieved minimum percentage which is required, we are not required to do foundation, right? So basically, when many students will have a question that what subjects to take in foundation, so whether to take mathematics or not. So that is a one question, right? So if we take mathematics, it may become easier for us we may have to spend less time, or we will be able to do the things faster. But even if we do not do mathematics, or we are a science student, then also it doesn't matter. We may have to spend, we may have to put a little extra efforts, but there's nothing so difficult in cracking a foundation examination. It was much easier when it was CPT, but we see that the word is becoming difficult. So the things have to be made slightly difficult. So now 50% is objective and 50% is theoretical. We have to write in detail. But when I gave, it was all in theory. We had to solve practical examples, and it was not just the objective type. So you can, when you are in your 9th standard, if you have to choose your papers, or in your 11th standard, when you have to choose your subject, you can look at taking mathematics and subjects like economics, and maybe you can leave computers if there is a option between economics and computer, because it's not computers we do not learn in schools now. Computers we learn from 3 or 4 years when we are at our home. So and only new subject which will be for you will be slightly a law part, and it will be much easier for you to crack the foundation examination.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much. I'm sure there are so many questions which are coming in and which we will not be able to probably take right now because of the time constraint. But thank you, sir, for really giving a very clear picture about, how they can go about, and, detailed aspects, which I don't think even I would have been able to give. Thank you, C. Ajay, for the questions. And let me tell all the students, there's no point of getting disappointed. We will be giving you a frequently asked questions list, and the answers to that, which will be circulated to you via your schools or your principals or the coordinators. So most of your questions are going to be answered there. And if you still have questions besides that, after you receive this document, I request you all to get in touch with us at ICAI bahrain@gmail.com. So we will be taking questions if those are not covered in the frequently asked questions. So just be a little patient. I trust that we will answer and definitely help you guide in the best way possible. Now, CA Sharmila, we will get into the most exciting part, which is the quiz on Kahoot. I hope all of you have gotten your applications done and entered your name and entered your phone number, because there are exciting prizes and gift vouchers that we're giving out. So get ready, everyone. If you haven't, just take 30 seconds to download. I'm sure with 4G speed, 30 seconds, everyone's going to be up, and we're going to take the questions. So just get ready, and
yeah, Ria, Ria, as students are downloading, I would like to touch a point I saw on the screen, because it's very important for students to know that if they choose an examination center in India, whether they will be allowed to change it. Normally, there is a window to change the examination, but if there is a delay in announcement of a Bahrain chapter, the facility will be examination center in Bahrain. There will be a facility available for all students to change the examination center. Because because when we are bringing an examination center, we want that all students who are in Bahrain and want to appear from Bahrain get a chance. So that is just a technicality which would not be an issue for any student.
All right, thank you. That's again one added point which students get clarity on. So I hope your Kahoot apps and softwares and everything's ready. Your name and your phone number is really important, because that's how we will be getting in touch with you to gift you the prizes. So the game pin, as you can see on the screen, is 839368. So everyone, I hope you're logged in. And
you need to enter this pin.
Yes.
Once you logged in, you will be asked a pin, and you need to enter this pin.
For playing our quiz, otherwise you'll end up somewhere else probably. So great, we can see already 40 players registered. Nice. We're expecting, we have how many participants? We need all of you logged in. We've noticed that mobile numbers have not been given. So please notice that even if you win, you'll not be able to get your prize if your mobile number is not there. So the next winner will get it. So despite putting the effort, you'll not be able to do it. So probably just log out. We'll give you 30 more seconds. Your phone number is essentially important. Otherwise, there's no point of playing this game. So kindly log out, get in back the game. I can see a couple of numbers now appearing. Nice. Neha, you've put your name in. Gautam has put his name in and number, along with number. Yes.
Yeah, the players are.
Now we can see numbers coming in. Great, great. Come on, quickly. Those who haven't given their numbers, we will be moving to the next number.
I guess the people are logging in
and then going out.
Yeah.
Yes. That's okay.
That's good. Yeah.
But more numbers coming in. That's the only point of this game. Great. All numbers coming in now. You can see Ayush Shetty has not given the number. Ayush, if you win, you're going to miss out. Come on. Log out, log in. We're waiting. Okay, when we touch 100, we're going to start the quiz. So make sure you are there with your name and your number. Wow, only 10 more. Oh, wow, we're 93 already. Only 7 more people. Sammy, if you have not given your number, log out, log in. All right, we're touching 3, 2, and let's
start.
Oops, we dropped down again. Someone's logging out and in. Okay, we're on 102 players. Please keep joining in. Also, one more important thing. Some of the questions have 2 times the points. So the questions which are really important and which we wanted you to highlight on will have double the points than the ideal ones. Okay, so look out for 2x written in that, and speed is important. If you've heard the presentation, you will, I'm sure, be able to agree that you'll be able to answer all the questions. And thanks to CA Vivek Gupta, for preparing this quiz and taking the time and effort despite sitting in India for bringing out this questions in front of us. All right, I think we're good to start. 113 members, still more joining. Let's go. Let's be quick, guys, with the questions, and we're starting. 3, 2, 1, and here's your question. In which yes.
Okay. In which year ICAI was established? You have 4 options. You just need to press the correct option quickly.
I'm sure all of you have played.
To go.
Yes, quiz. Come on. The faster, the more points you get. Wow, 85 people have answered, and time's up. 53% of you are actually listening. This is what it shows.
Yeah.
And Adi, congratulations, really quick. Good, we have your phone number. We can see top 5 people have at least put in their phone number for now. So good,
so
let's go.
You will keep seeing this who are the top. So just speed up.
Question 2. In India, currently, Dash is headed by Minister. I'm sure you all have read the question. Who is minister who is chartered accountant by education? And lastly, 90 people have answered, and 55% were listening in this question. Great. I'm sure speed is going to really matter. Please keep going ahead.
Still, Adi is still on the top.
No. It's Mihir now. Mihir, great. Someone with R, anonymous R, and Mr. X. You will, despite winning, you will not be getting prizes. So thanks. We'll move on to the next. I'll keep the coupons to myself then. All right. Students entered through direct entry scheme are not required to appear in which exam? And you have 4 options. And 12 seconds. Let's go. 100 people need to answer. Come on. Exciting prizes ahead. You have to speed up, guys. And time's up. CA Foundation. Oh, I expected all of you to get this right. But no problem. You still have chance to come up. Let's see who's on top now. The charts might have changed. Mihir,
Still
great.
Mihir. Yeah.
Mr. R, I get to keep your coupon. Thank you.
Mr. X as well.
Mr. X as well.
So, who among the below is the former Minister of Civil Aviation?
Quick, speed. This is a simple one. And let's go 3, 2, and 1. We have only 94 answers. That's a disappointing number, but that's okay. We still, oh, now we have Neha and all 5 numbers with 4 numbers. Great going. Guys, there's no negative marking. Just
you
answer
need to
anyway.
Speed up, guys.
Yes.
Top 3 will be the one to get the
ICAI motto. What does it mean? We had explained it. Come on. And the question.
This has double points.
13 seconds. We have very few answers. Go quickly. Even if you go wrong, go quickly. You might hit the right button. And 35%. One who is awake in those that sleep. Yes. You need to wake up, guys. Wake up. Maybe not for CA, but just for this quiz. Mihir, great. Manu, Sanay, Sadia. Very
Meghna,
nice.
yeah.
Meghna. All with numbers. I'm happy to see numbers.
How many regional councils of ICAI are there in India?
This is also a simple one. You just count.
If you have
Quickly,
heard
no Google. Please, no Google. No parents helping. This is all.
They have heard to. If they are there from the beginning, they will definitely answer this question. Oh,
wow.
So people have joined in late. They have missed Ajay's session actually.
Yes. 47%. No problem. We have 5 councils helping out in the administration work to the main body, guys. This is something that you need to know because that's where you'll be registering and doing all your processes. And moving to the 7th question.
Who was the India's first lady auditor? Also a part of
the Indian freedom struggle. We showed with the photo while the video was on.
Yes.
Come on with 4 seconds. I want all the answers. Just don't fear getting the wrong one. And 46% right. Great. And let's see the chart.
I think probably not everybody is answering.
No problem.
In which year BCICI held its first
official program? This is really important because once you become CAs, you all will be joining all of us here, probably sitting and giving CA orientation in the future. Come on. And with 1 second left.
Oh.
Yes, 1986. And 53% got it right. Congratulations. Congratulations. I was so tempted to give this answer. And how many members are elected in BCICI Executive Committee? Now, let me just tell you, like, we're a part of the committee. So we really hope that you also become a part one day. And 45% got it right. 9 people.
Yeah,
great.
So there are 9 people and the 2 are co-opted by the elected committee. So Mihir still is on the top.
Yes, congratulations, Mihir.
In how many stages the exams are conducted in chartered accountancy course?
I was quite clear on this. It shouldn't be difficult. Let's see. I want all 100 answers right.
Please, guys, answer.
2.
Oh, okay. I'm disappointed. Only 40% right. That's okay. for anyone who's planning to take up CA course correctly, today you should keep it in your head that there are 3 levels to it. So yes, let's move on. And let's see the score. Oh, Mihir is still there, but Anna, Meghna, Thomas, and Laksh have joined in. Great going. So all of you who are still at the bottom, if you answer correctly and answer fast, you can help.
There are 2 objective papers in CA Foundation exam. True or false?
This shouldn't be difficult at all. This is like a 50% chance of getting it right. And coming also onto the top 5 scoreboard. And let's go. 64% right. Congratulations. Let's see if the scoreboard has actually changed or no. Oh, pretty. Jessica, welcome. Yeah. Atul, Anna. Very nice. So, great. See, these are perfect examples. If you answer fast, you can make it up. And 2 points you get extra. How many papers are there in the CA intermediate course? You get double points for this question. Anyone who's still at the bottom, answer fast, answer quickly.
Come
on, I want all 100 answers right if you're serious about this course. Should not miss out on. 72. Wow, this is, I think, a question which has gotten maximum right answers. Correct. 8 papers in 2 groups. Moving on. Let's see.
As Sierra said, this is the question which has actually changed the statistics.
Anna, Atul, Jessica, Mihir, Meghna, great going.
Is it not possible for the overseas students to become a chartered accountant? True or false?
I'm sure this 100% will get right, Sia Sharmila. 100%. They all know where they are, what they're pursuing, how they can go about it. And we have only 97 answers. Yes. And time's up. 86% got it right. Congratulations. So we all know why we are here, why this program is conducted. And the scoreboard, what does it say?
So Anna is now leading. And Mihir, where are you?
Mihir, you need to quicken up. We were encouraging others, but we want to encourage you also. Let's go. This last couple of questions.
So see, this question again has double points. In which year ICAI will host a 21st World Congress Accountants? This was last done in 2018 in Australia.
And we have all future accountants like answering so quickly. We have still time left, but mostly all the answers have been received. That's nice. And 62% got it right. 2022. Yes. So maybe you can join the league by then. Actually, you can't, but our course does not permit it to here.
That's pretty fast. So Anna is leading now.
Yes, great.
Buck up, guys. You still have chance. I think last 1 question to go or 2 questions to go.
2. Oh,
again the question with the double point. Yeah. Out of the options below, who is the one based out of Dubai? That's tricky now. I hope you have listened to all the introductions by Ria.
Yes, and I've also seen the photos of the people who are actually talking. Really nice photos, I must say. Oh, wow, we got all the answers. And only 57% right. No problem. Yes, it was our regional director who joined us, who gave us all the question and answers. He is the one who is based in Dubai.
Yes. Congrats, guys. Okay.
And let's go to the last question.
Again with the double points.
Did you benefit from this orientation program? There's only one right answer. Shouldn't be that difficult. You have to make us happy at the end of the day. And we got within 10 seconds all the answers. That is great. Let's see our feedback. Live feedback.
This is the feedback question.
And
Oh,
Oh,
we still have 4 disappointed ones. Never mind. You can just come back to us on any query where you felt we were short, and we'll definitely try to get back to you on that.
Thank you, 94%. Thank you so much. This is really encouraging to see how you've benefited from this program.
So I guess we are done with our quiz now.
Yes,
And
yes. So we have our top winners, which we will be reaching out to you on, and we will be informing you and giving you gift vouchers from Jashanmal, and you can get your favorite books from there. Of course, CA books will not be available there, unfortunately. So it's Abhinav who is on the 3rd position. We have your number. That's great. On the 2nd, we have Sneha. Oh, these names are not seen.
Yeah, suddenly.
And our topper, Atul.
Oh, yeah.
Great,
So congrats, all of you.
congratulations.
Congrats to all of you.
Yes, you will be expecting a call from us shortly. And you have exciting prizes waiting for you. Thank you all of those who participated but couldn't make it. Next time, maybe we can be more attentive. I'm sure you are attentive, but as you know in Kahoot, even the speed matters. So next time you can buckle up on the speed. So I hope this program was helpful. There were a lot of people who made this event successful, starting from CA Ajay, who came up with the idea, CA Sharmila, who coordinated with the schools, CA Vivek, who put in the quiz up for you, CA Sridhar, who gave you insightful experiences from his journey, CA Prabdeep. Thank you for answering all the questions from the students directly from the ICAI point of view. In closing, please reach out to us if there are any doubts. We would love to see that, at least 200 people have attended. I'm sure 100 of you will decide to take up CA. 50 of you may become CAs. 10 of you may come back to Bahrain. I hope at least 5 of you join the BCICAI, but at least 2 or 3 of you sit here in this position someday, inspiring the other lot of 200, 2,000, 5,000 to become CAs, to become an inspiration and a source for our country, to help develop more chartered accountants. So really excited to see, maybe in a couple of years, 5, 6 years down the line, we see so many of you coming and sitting here in our positions and sharing your experiences and insights. And I'm sure you will be not even getting 100% satisfaction on the question whether this orientation program was successful or beneficial or not. With this, we would like to close. Thank you all for joining in. Please write to us, and see you future chartered accountants. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you and have a good day.